Hey guys, what's up? It's me, the-kyle-chronicles, and I know a lot of you are going back to school soon, so I figured this would be a good video. I graduated. I made it all the way through grade 12, so this is just some of the knowledge of things that helped me get through it that might help you get through it. Okay? So this video will be split up into two parts. One will be supplies you should probably have on you, or at least think about bringing, and the other part will be just general tips that you should maybe think about following. And the list is on my phone, so I should probably get that out. So first thing you should definitely think about bringing is a water bottle. I wouldn't suggest one of the ones where you have to screw the lid off because you never know, spills could happen. Get one like this, or one of the ones with the little poppy cap. That way you're staying hydrated during school and you're not as tempted to go to the water fountain every 5 seconds rather than pay attention in class, because you have your water on you. And if it starts to get empty, try filling it up during the breaks between classes or at lunch. That way, again, you're not as tempted to leave the classroom, and you're gonna thank me. Drinking water is really nice, especially for your skin. So that's that. Deodorant. Now, not just deodorant, try to get antiperspirant / deodorant as well, because that'll actually help with the gross sweat stuff. I find men's deodorant actually works a lot better, and as a guy myself, this is my deodorant, so I vouch for it. It really smells good. But basically, keep it in either your gym locker if you have that, or just in your regular locker, because you may put it on in the morning, but stuff may happen, you're gonna sweat, you're gonna start to stink, so like keep one just on you in your backpack or whatever, for your sake and your classmates' sake. Next, pads and tampons, or general menstruation things. Whether you're a guy, a girl, trans, non-binary, doesn't matter, just keep some in your locker, in like your bag, in your purse, because you never know when you or your friend or just a classmate in general might need that, but they don't have it on them. You will literally be the savior of your school if you just always have these on you to help yourself and other people, because blood happens and it's not fun. Okay? Another thing is keep an extra pair of clothes in your locker. Different from your gym clothes, different from the ones you're wearing, just an extra pair of clothes, maybe just like a decent pair of jeans or sweatpants or shorts, depending on where you live, what the weather's like, and like a t-shirt or whatever, just in case you spill something on you, something gets stained, the blood stuff happens. It's nice to have just that extra change of clothes so you don't have to worry about disturbing your parents at work or going all the way home, making it back for your class in time. And hey, if like your friend spills something and you guys are the same size pants, there you go, you're helping another person too. Another thing, this is actually on the supply list, but highlighters. They help so much when you are studying. Say you make a category. Yellow is for just the titles. So if you're in science, say chemistry is in yellow, and biology, yellow. That way, when you're trying to study for a test or for your finals, you know exactly what is what. And so you have pink for very important notes, things that they're guaranteed to be on the test. You're gonna need to know this, you might as well have it in a bright bold color. And say orange is for formulas, for math, for science, really for anything that has a specific formula that you need to remember. Don't need to remember necessarily how to do it, just the formula itself, color code it. And green, I don't know, it's there. Basically, color code your notes with highlighters. It'll make it so much easier to find what you're looking for when you actually go to study it, or if you need to bring it up in class to answer some questions. So much easier, trust me, I color coded everything. Another important thing to have is a copy of your class schedule. I suggest keeping one in your binder or your notebook, and one in your locker, and maybe even a third in your backpack, because you never know, something might get lost, you might, ruin it by accident, and in case you don't get the chance to memorize your schedule, it's good to have the extra copy there so you know where you gotta go and you're there on time. Another thing, lip balm. It's great, it smells good if you get one you like the flavor of, and you can get really dry lips in school and it's not fun, especially if you're like me and you pick or bite at them. So lip balm kind of helps, with that. You get to taste your nice tasty lips and they'll be soft all day, so that's good. Another thing is a voice recorder or voice recording program. A lot of cell phones have it. I know iPhones have like the little recording app. That way, if you're prone to falling asleep or kind of zoning out in class, you can just have that on. That way you have the entire lecture available for you. You know what happened even during those points where you weren't necessarily awake or paying enough attention. So yeah, it's very helpful, and you can ask questions about it later. So another good thing to keep on hand would be headphones, because sometimes, you might have to listen to music to stay concentrated. Other times they're good to just block out the noise. A lot of teachers are using, computers more, so you might have to go watch a video or a movie on something. So keeping a pair of headphones with you is just generally helpful. This is actually starting to be included in a lot of school lists, which is good. So headphones, good headphones. And try and keep your school headphones separate from the ones you use at home. That way you just don't end up losing them. Another thing that I will swear by is gum. Chewing gum during class actually helps keep you concentrated, and it's proven that if you study while chewing a specific type of gum and chew the same type during a test, you are more likely to remember the information just because that flavor has now been associated with that information. Another good thing for me, I tend to chew on the insides of my mouth a lot, and it hurts a lot, and you bleed, it's gross. Gum basically helped me stop doing that, so that's nice. As you get into high school, I know a lot of people start smoking, so this can also help curb your cravings in between classes and stuff, so you're not constantly running out to have a smoke, which I don't say, like, it's not a good thing to smoke, but if it happens, it happens. Gum can help that, though. Another good thing to have on hand are allergy pills. Now, obviously, if you need an EpiPen, I'm sure you're going to have that on you, but allergy pills more for just like the general stuff. You never know what you might come into contact with during the school day, so if you start going through an allergic reaction, these are just helpful to have on hand. Even just like the no-name drugstore brand. They work, they help, and a lot of schools actually don't have nurses or like nurses' offices anymore, so all the more reason to carry it on you. In the same kind of category would be Tylenol, Midol, Advil, just those general ibuprofen things, because headaches happen and they suck, and it's even harder to pay attention when you have a throbbing headache. So, Tylenol extra strength, Advil extra strength, Midol for when you're bleeding, helpful things to keep on you, and your friends will thank you if you're the person that they're going to go to for these drugs because they don't have it, but you do. Also, make sure you're allowed to bring those kind of things to school, so you're not getting in trouble for like smuggling drugs when it's just some Advil. Back to the electronic side of things. A phone charger. If you're allowed to have your phone on you during school hours, it's gonna die, and sometimes you do need it to contact somebody, or go on Tumblr, whatever. So keeping a phone charger can help. Make sure when you're plugging it in during class, or whenever you're plugging it in, that it's not disrupting other students or the class itself. Make sure you're still paying attention to learning. Another good thing to bringing this is you can always charge it during lunch. I know at the school I went to, there were a few plug-ins around the cafeteria. If you eat in a classroom, they almost always have plug-ins. Or if you go to certain fast food places, sometimes they'll have a little place for you to plug your phone into. So it's good to keep these on hand just in case. And for guys and girls, carry cover-up in your bag, because why not? I mean, everyone gets those little acne spots that show up like halfway through the school day, and if you're really self-conscious or just not comfortable with showing that in all its glory, just dab a little cover-up on it. No one's gonna care. I mean, if you're a guy, some people are gonna care because they're assholes, but like, whatever, you're gonna look way better than them, okay? Okay. And also, something I forgot to mention with the extra pair of clothes, keep an extra hoodie or jacket in your locker. Sometimes it starts out really nice and warm in the morning, and then it like downpours halfway through the day and you're walking home in a tank top and you're getting cold. So sweater helps, especially because some classrooms are way colder than others. Jacket more for, you know, if you're in Canada and it starts to snow randomly and you have a fire drill and you have to go outside and it's not fun, you get very cold very fast. So that's basically all the extra supplies I'd suggest bringing with you. So now we're going to move on to the general tips. First things first, eat breakfast. I know a lot of people are like, oh, whatever, it's not even that important. It is. It's called the most important meal of the day for a reason. It wakes you up, it helps get you moving, it gives you some food so your body's not like, I'm hungry, throughout the day. Even if it's just like a granola bar and a glass of milk. Get something in your system so you're not starving during, you know, your first few classes, and so you're more awake and more alert. If you're allowed to eat during classes, I'd suggest maybe even bringing like a granola bar to those. If you're not a fan of eating as soon as you wake up, that way your first class you can still eat that and, you know, get the energy you need to make it through the rest of the school day. Another thing is I suggest sitting near the front or middle of the class, because I realized in the classes where I sat in the back, I was much more likely to talk to friends or go on my phone and just generally ignore what I'm supposed to be paying attention to, which, yeah, it's going to happen no matter where you sit, but front and middle, you're more likely to actually look up at the board every once in a while or raise your hand if you have questions, and you're going to soak in that material a lot more if you're not just on your phone talking to your friends in the back of the class. Along the same lines of asking questions, it's totally okay to raise your hand halfway through a lecture and be like, hey, I didn't catch that properly, or I don't quite understand what you meant by this, could you explain? If you're really shy or just have anxiety around that, I'd suggest maybe keeping a little notebook to write your questions in afterwards, so you can go talk to your So you can go talk to your teacher after class is over, or maybe during like the work study time, and then ask them to clarify the questions you have. A lot of teachers don't mind if you come to them after class and you're like, hey, I didn't quite get this. If it's a really busy day and they have to get right on to their next lesson, they might tell you to come back at lunchtime or after school, and sacrificing a few minutes at lunch or, you know, a few minutes after school is worth it, especially if it means you're passing your classes, you're going on to the next year, and you're not failing. Another important thing is, I know at the school year, a lot of people's mental illnesses tend to take a bigger toll on them because they have the stress of school on top of everything else. So please remember to take your medications. So if you need to, set an alarm on your phone or your clock, your computer, whatever you need to make sure that you are taking your medications when you need to take them. For finals or really big unit tests, I suggest breaking your studying up over a few days or weeks. Weeks more for the finals thing, because that's everything you've been learning, where unit tests you can just split it up over, you know, maybe 3 or 4 days. This way you can absorb information over time, so you're not cramming it all and, you know, probably not studying the important parts, where the highlighters come in handy. Make sure to study the important highlighted parts. And it's more guaranteed that you will pass your test if you break up your studying. I am very sorry for the hiccups, I just ate. And the last thing, this goes with the eating breakfast, kind of, not really. Try to go to bed at a decent time so you can wake up at a decent time. Now, going to bed doesn't mean going to bed lying on your phone or laptop. Close your laptop, shut off your TV, actually turn your phone off, or if you're just putting it on silent, flip it so the screen is facing downwards, because the blue tone lights that come off of a lot of these electronics actually keep you up more. It's a lot harder to fall asleep with blue tones all up in your face. So just turn them off, flip them over. You guys need to get a good sleep so you can pass school and get through it as fast as possible. I've been where you have been. I've been, you know, depressed, anxious, just a lot of bad things have happened to me during school. But look, I made it through it. I did it. I graduated. It took a long time, but over the years, these are tips and tricks that did help me. And, you know, another general tip is try to get a good friend group. I'm not saying you need to be friends with everybody, but find like 2 or 3 people that you really, you know, you end up being squad goals with. It helps a lot because you have people you can vent to, you can talk to your problems to, that you can laugh with and enjoy being around. It helps a lot with staying positive and, you know, taking off some of that stress that school puts on you guys. I love you all. I hope you have a happy and safe school year. I am always here to answer your questions. My Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, etc. They are all linked in the description if you want to contact me there for further advice. And yeah, I will see you next week. Bye!